Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Bold and the Beautiful comings and goings tease a big return next month and unexpected couple shakeups. Will Nick Marone's return to Los Angeles create chaos for Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, and Ridge Forrester's Thorsten Kaye happy home? Jack Wagner's highly anticipated Bold and Beautiful return is set to kick off in June. Viewers can't wait to see Nick Marone back on the canvas. Longtime fans will remember Nick Marone was actually married to Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, and Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, on separate occasions over the years. He clearly has similar taste in women to his half-brother Ridge Forrester. Since the Bold and the Beautiful split up Brooke and Ridge, Taylor Hayes has been sitting pretty and seems to have won the battle with Brooke, for now. Ridge was solid until Brooke's daughter Hope Logan, Annika Noel, went rogue and helped Carter Walton, Lawrence Street Victor, steal Forrester creations. Ridge felt so betrayed by Brooke that he dumped her and reunited with his other ex-wife. According to B&B Spoilers, Nick Marone will be around for several episodes and involved in a huge storyline. Word on the internet is that sparks will fly between Nick and Brooke, but Ridge won't like it. What better way to remind him he is still in love with Brooke Logan than to see her canoodling with his estranged brother? Since Thorne Forrester, Windsor Harmon, isn't on hand to make Ridge jealous, Massimo's other son, Nick Marone, is the next best thing. When Taylor came home, she was suffering from broken heart syndrome and clinically depressed because Ridge was with Brooke. When Taylor realizes that Ridge is still pining for his ex, it could literally kill her. Do you think that Ridge will be jealous of Brooke and Nick and pull the plug on his romance with Taylor? Are you still holding out hope for a Bridge reunion? The sun rises over the Forrester mansion, casting a golden glow across the LA skyline, but for Taylor Hayes, the light does little to warm the growing chill in her heart. What begins as a hopeful morning ends in heartbreak as a relationship she believed was finally stable shatters like glass. This time, it's not just another chapter in her complicated love life, it's a reckoning. The calm before the storm. Taylor Hayes has always been a woman of immense passion, intellect, and vulnerability. She's saved lives as a world-renowned psychiatrist, raised incredible children, and survived love triangles that would crush a lesser person. Recently, Taylor thought she had turned a new leaf. After her roller coaster history with Ridge Forrester, she'd opened herself to something new, or rather, someone new. Enter Dr. Colin Fairchild, a charming neurologist from Boston who'd moved to Los Angeles for a position at Cedars-Sinai. A widower with a calming presence and a thoughtful approach to life, Colin wasn't part of the usual Forrester circus. That's what made Taylor feel safe. After years of emotional highs and lows, she craved peace. For months, they've been quietly dating, away from the paparazzi and the family drama. Ridge had even given his blessing, though his subtle glances at Taylor hadn't gone unnoticed. Steffi and Thomas had their reservations, but respected their mother's need for a fresh start. But peace, as Taylor was about to discover, is a fleeting thing in the world of the Forresters. The unexpected guest. It begins with a knock at her door. Taylor, sipping coffee in her Monte Carlo-inspired living room, opens the door to find a woman she hasn't seen in over 2 decades. Dr. Sabrina Lafferty, a former colleague from Paris, and as Taylor would soon learn, the bearer of devastating news. Sabrina looks older, but the steel in her eyes is the same. They exchange pleasantries, but Taylor can sense something is wrong. "I thought you deserved to hear it from me," Sabrina says, pulling out a folded envelope. "Colin isn't who you think he is." Inside the envelope, photographs. Colin embracing a woman in Boston, romantic dinners, trips abroad. A love letter, dated just last month. "I worked with her," Sabrina says, eyes steady. "Colin's fiancé. She never knew about you. He's been leading a double life." Denial, then devastation. Taylor's initial reaction is disbelief. She calls Colin immediately, needing to hear his voice, needing him to refute the proof. He answers, voice soft and unbothered, until she brings up Sabrina. The silence on the other end of the phone confirms everything. I didn't mean for it to happen this way, Colin finally says. I was going to tell you. I just didn't know how. Tell me what? Taylor whispers. That I was your side project while you played house in Boston. It wasn't like that, he insists. I cared about you. I still do. But I'm going back. We're getting married. The call ends and Taylor drops the phone. For a moment, the world stops spinning. Steffi and Thomas rally. But it's not enough. When Thomas and Steffi arrive later that afternoon for a planned lunch, they find their mother sitting on the floor, surrounded by the contents of a shattered vase. Her hands are shaking, her face pale. What happened? Thomas asks, rushing to her side. Steffi kneels beside her. Mom, talk to us. And Taylor does, every gut-wrenching detail. Fury rises in Thomas first. I'll fly to Boston and take care of this clown myself. No, Taylor says firmly. We don't handle pain with revenge. Not anymore. Steffi looks her mother in the eyes. You always tell us to be strong, to rise above. But Mom, who does that for you? Taylor's lip trembles, and the tears finally fall. No one. That's the truth, isn't it? I spend my life fixing everyone else, helping everyone else. And when I need someone, I end up alone. Brooke reaches out. Surprisingly, it's Brooke Logan who shows up next. Taylor's longtime rival and one-time best friend has heard through the grapevine, courtesy of Donna, what happened. Taylor, still raw, isn't thrilled to see her. What, here to say, I told you so? She snaps. No, Brooke replies gently. I'm here because I've been where you are. I know what it's like to think you found someone who finally sees you, only to realize they never really did. Taylor softens. Why are we always on opposite ends of the same pain? Maybe we shouldn't be anymore. The women sit together, not as enemies, but as survivors of love lost and betrayal endured. Brooke pours them each a glass of wine. They don't talk much after that. They don't need to. Ridge's regret. Ridge Forrester hears about the breakup from Steffi and finds himself conflicted. He'd genuinely been happy for Taylor. And yet, a piece of him feels vindicated. He always believed no man could love Taylor the way he did. But Ridge is no longer sure if he can be the man she deserves either. He visits Taylor late that night. You doing okay, Doc? He asks, voice soft. Taylor nods. I will be. Eventually, they sit in silence. Ridge finally says what he's been holding in. I never wanted to see you hurt again. You deserve someone who puts you first. Always. Taylor looks at him, really looks at him. Then why weren't you ever that man? Ridge doesn't have an answer. And this time, Taylor doesn't cry. She simply walks to the door and opens it. I appreciate you coming by. But I need to start choosing myself now. Flashbacks and inner demons. The next day, Taylor is haunted by memories. Flashbacks of her early romance with Ridge, their wedding in Street Thomas, the years lost to Brooke, her breakdowns, her recoveries, all the men who promised her forever and delivered heartbreak. She looks in the mirror and barely recognizes herself. You spent decades being everyone's support system, she whispers. Maybe it's time to figure out who you really are without a man. And so begins Taylor's new journey. A new purpose, a new path. Taylor throws herself into work, but not just psychiatry. She begins developing a wellness center dedicated to women rebuilding their lives after betrayal and loss. Brooke, surprisingly, becomes one of her early supporters and investors. Maybe we're better partners than rivals, Brooke jokes during the first planning meeting. Stranger things have happened, Taylor replies with a smile. Taylor also reconnects with old friends, including James Warwick, who offers to consult on the project. Their camaraderie is refreshing. No romance, just mutual respect. For now. A glimmer of hope. Weeks later, Taylor receives a letter. It's from Colin, No apology, just a regretful explanation of how torn he was, how much he admired her strength, and how he wished things had been different. Taylor folds the letter and tosses it into the fireplace. As the flames consume it, she turns to the window, watching the city lights flicker. She doesn't cry. She doesn't scream. She simply says, "Goodbye." The final scene. A stronger Taylor emerges. The episode closes with Taylor hosting the groundbreaking ceremony of her women's wellness retreat. Surrounded by supporters, Steffi, Thomas, Brooke, and even Eric, she stands tall. "I've spent much of my life loving deeply, giving freely, and losing painfully," she tells the crowd. "But every heartbreak, every scar, brought me here. Today, we plant seeds of healing for every woman who's ever felt discarded, forgotten, or unworthy. Starting with me." As applause fills the air, Taylor smiles. Not the fragile smile of a woman pretending she's okay, but the radiant smile of someone becoming whole. Final spoiler note. Though Taylor Hayes gets dumped, this isn't the end of her story. It's the rebirth of it. The Bold and the Beautiful is setting her up for a new era. No longer just Ridge's ex or Brooke's rival, Taylor is stepping into her own light. And with whispers of a mysterious investor arriving in Los Angeles with ties to her past, the next chapter might be full of redemption, romance, and a Taylor Hayes we've never seen before. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and BAUTFEL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.